Hello, today is June 30th, 2018. I'd like to start off by acknowledging the people who've been sending me thank yous for doing videos. You're all very welcome. Do appreciate the kind words. Okay, my last call said I was looking for higher prices, which we got. During the day, MEJT said that drop was false, would retrace. This rally was false, would retrace. Said this drop was false and would retrace. And they all did. Now, Monday's week, next week, is the week in which Independence Day falls. And almost always that's one of the strongest weeks of the year. Almost always you can go long and make money that week. But if the usual thing is going to happen next week, the market's going to have to invalidate this very negative pattern. And by invalidate it, that means gapping and promptly taking out this high. If that doesn't happen, this is a setup for what could be a steep, sharp drop. This is the DeMark stuff. We had to close over 2734.62 to give the 913.9 sequential sell signal. Last one of the bars can end early. This one actually ended Monday, but it's much more aesthetic. If you trade over this price late on Friday, which we did, close to the time rather than early Monday. Here's the price. And when these things work, it just identifies the area of a top, not the exact top. But when they work best, it drops immediately in a move like this one. So unless proven otherwise, we're in a steep drop from that system. This is a pattern which almost always closes at the day's high as an early low, late high. When you don't close at the day's high and you don't invalidate it by gapping up over that high, leads to more weakness. It's also very negative. If you gap up, hit a new high, a higher high, can't hold on to any of the highs, but it's poison when you can't hold on to any of these lows. Again, the poison's invalidated if we gap up at the open. There's a lot of resistance at today's high. Usually when you get a wall of selling into the close, let's go over this again. Here's your wall. Normally it means higher prices are coming because it's typically the amateurs who sell with abandon into the close. The catch is, once the market closed, right here, we rallied. And that means the amateurs were pouncing on this, waiting to buy once the selling stopped. Once the market closed, rather. And when the market closes, big money doesn't trade because there's no one on the other side of the trade. So once big money was out of the market, small traders acted and pushed it higher. The implication is all that selling was not done by the small traders. And big selling like this on a Friday almost always carries over into Monday's open. So the expectation is, rather than gapping up and invalidating the move, the expectation is we're going to keep dropping right from Monday's open. And before the market opens, we should see if that works out or not. Well, here's the count. We're making an A, B, C. If this is A and B's over, and we're making C, and if C is equal to A, this drop could take us to around 25.43. Let's say in the middle 25.40s. And what's interesting is if this count's correct, and that's an A and that's a B, and wave C is twice the length of wave A, well, last time I did that, it worked out to be the same price. 25.57, 25.43. Well, you get the idea. Middle 2500s. Well, here's the wave count. There are a number of ways to get resistance at this point. You can take a Fibonacci grid, set this at 0, this at 38.2. You get a beautiful hit here at the 61.8, beautiful hit here at the 100. Shows these things are all related. You can also get a hit by working from here to here. You can use, this is that B, you can use Gann's technique of dividing it up into eighths and thirds. This is 2/8 from the top right there. Here you can see how these work. They're pretty good. And it would imply we're going down to one of these other numbers, one of which is in the middle 2500s, which is my target for the drop. So unless this move is invalidated, meaning we gap up and take out this high, we have strong resistance, a move down in the proper time frame from the strong resistance. And despite the calendar, we have a perfect setup for a very steep drop. I believe it's the pattern with the early high. Tuesday should be the pattern with the early low. But if the market wants to drop, those things aren't going to stop it. We'll know before the open if the interpretation's right. If it's wrong, we'll gap up and take out this high. But if it's right, there's a very strong chance we drop right from the open and very likely keep on dropping. And that's today's call.